If I didn't know any better, I would assume that this was all some elaborate ruse. Honestly, Sebastian's daughter just happens to wander onto our property, and then Claude just randomly runs into her? How on earth does something happen like that? And somehow he expects me to believe that she agreed to a deal that will lead to her father's death? I understand that Sebastian is rather unpleasant, but you would think that his daughter would have some more hesitation about agreeing to kill him. But I do rather hope that it is true. After all, if she agreed to his death so easily, that must mean that he's a terrible father, which means she might be willing to help me a bit more than I expected. Maybe she won't just be bait. Maybe she'll be able to lull him into a false sense of security when he shows up trying to take her home. And then, perhaps she'll kill him herself. Oh, wouldn't that be interesting? However, these circumstances certainly seem rather strange. After all, Claude can barely produce any evidence that he actually met her, let alone actually produce her. I understand that she would have gone back to CL Phantom Hive's manor in order to collect her things, as Claude said. However, it's been hours and she still hasn't shown up. If she needed help finding the way again, I'm certain she would have known to summon Claude by calling his name. After all, if she's the child of a demon, as he truly says she is, she would certainly know how to summon a demon. And now we're left scouring the manor's property trying to find her in case she got lost. Honestly, it just seems like Claude is looking for excuses to get out of here and away from me. I suppose I could have tried to command him to be honest with me, but I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't have even listened to that command. After all, if I don't know what the truth is, how can I possibly punish him for not speaking it? And with how Claude has been behaving recently, he's given me very little reason to believe that he would always be honest with me, or even that he would continue to follow my orders if he could find a way around it. No, don't think like that. I am certain that she was really here. I'm certain she exists in the first place. After all, Claude wouldn't lie to me about that, would he? No, because if he got my hopes up, he knows all the things that I would do to punish him for that. He knows exactly what I would... Who in the bloody hell could that be at this hour? Could it be her? No, certainly she wouldn't have come alone. Certainly she would have found Claude but it could be her. I suppose there's no harm in answering the door myself. After all, it can't be anyone who would try to harm me. After all, who tries to harm someone by knocking on their front door, even if it is the middle of the night? Well, I suppose if it is someone I should be afraid of, I can always call Claude here, and he'd save me. He would save me, wouldn't he? Who are you? Yes, I am the head of this household. Who are you, though? Really? And you wouldn't happen to be lying to me about that, would you? No reason at all. Please, do come in. I was informed that you would be arriving much earlier than you have. Is there a reason you're so late? your father found out about the deal you made? And why exactly did that keep you from arriving on time? He tried to keep you from coming here? But aren't you a demon as well? Couldn't you have fought him off? You're only half demon. How on earth does that happen? Your mother was human, but your father is a demon? Then what does that mean about you? Are you able to make deals the same way demons do? Are you able to be as swift and as clever as they are? Very good. I suppose that does put my worries at ease. For now, at least. And I take it Claude explained the exact details of our plan to you, correct? He explained most of them. What exactly did he tell you? He said that you would be acting as bait, so that I can have my revenge against your father. And did he tell you exactly what that will entail? He didn't. I see. Then I presume he sensed that you might be a bit hesitant to make a deal with him if you knew the full details. How very typical of him. Tell me, what do you think I'm going to do to your father when he arrives to try and take you away? You think that I'll simply tell Claude to hurt him? I suppose you aren't completely incorrect, but that's a bit mild considering what he did to me, to my family. You do know that, don't you? You know what he did. Claude told you. He didn't tell you himself. I'm surprised by that. After all, you'd think that a demon would be bragging about his accomplishments, taking pride in harming human beings. But maybe he was simply trying to be polite. After all, your mother was a human. And since that makes you partially human, I doubt he'd want to act like humans were inferior to demons, especially around you. After all, how would that have made you feel, knowing that part of you was inferior to him? How do you think he would have felt about you knowing that and being able to hurt him? Perhaps you'd want revenge as well. Perhaps you would realize just how horrid he is. You've already realized that. And how did that come to be? Really? You were to be employed by CL Phantom Hive. And why would that annoy your father so much that he would send you away? Really? That little brat was offering you a part of his soul in exchange for your service? Well, I can certainly see why a demon would be so annoyed by that. After all, a demon like Sebastian Michaelis is rather selfish, isn't he? Rather greedy. Rather stubborn. I'm certain he wouldn't have wanted to share any bit of that child's soul with you. Oh, really? That makes you doubt the sincerity of Claude's agreement with you? Why's that? You think that he won't follow through with his end of the bargain? What was his end of the bargain, then? Yes, I did assume that since you're partially a demon, you would require souls to live. After all, even though you are partially human, your demon side still needs strength in order to use your powers. Isn't that right? I thought so. So you... He offered you part of my soul, didn't he? He said that if you helped me get my revenge against your father, he would split my soul with you. I see. No, it isn't an issue about you eating my soul. I don't know why, but that doesn't sit well with me. Why? I just told you I don't know. You think that I'm lying? You've known me, what, not even 10 minutes, and you think that you can tell when I'm lying. Is that it? You can sense it? Fine, if you must know. It irks me that Sebastian, your father, is willing to throw his own daughter out of the house in order to have one soul that is inferior to mine, all to himself. Yet Claude just happily agrees to share with you. I can't believe that he would be so willing to have less of my soul. I don't understand it. I truly do not understand it. Unless he believes my soul isn't worthy of his time. That would be rather surprising, considering all he says to me, all he ever says to assure me of my worth, is that he grows hungrier and hungrier for my soul each day. Yes, that is all he says to assure me that I am worthy of his time, that I am worthy of having a contract with him. Why does that surprise you so much? Sebastian, he does what? He genuinely takes care of Ciel. He acts almost like a father to him. I see. Go. No, don't leave the manor. Just go find an empty room and start unpacking your things. I don't know if you need to sleep. I assume you do. Just get out of my sight. Because I don't want you telling me about all the things I will never have. I want you to go. And tomorrow, you will begin your duties. You will follow every order Claude gives you. And you will come nowhere near me. Do you understand? Consider yourself lucky I don't want you dead too. You didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that I planned to kill your father? Huh. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that Claude didn't tell you. Well, you've made your choice now. go to your room and stay there for the rest of the night. You have agreed to be my servant, so you must follow every order I give you, and this is an order. Be a good girl and go to your room. Tomorrow, I'm certain your father will come for you, and I am going to make you watch while Claude rips him to pieces.